Okay. It's been a while. I'm not really sure where to start because it's been so long. But I sort of got the opportunity to sit down and have a chat with you guys, so I thought I'd take that. I've gone to vlog many times over the last couple of months, but it's just not happened. I've even had some false starts, taking lots of photos of meals and things, even tried to do what I eat in a day. I may upload that footage at some point, I don't know, I'll just see how I go. But yeah, what's been happening? First of all, summer just wouldn't quit. I wasn't the only one that was feeling that. People I know that aren't normally bothered by summer, by the end of it, were also feeling, yeah, it's time for summer to stop. We had some beautiful autumn weather, cool nights, sunny days with a lovely cool breeze. We took photos of the nice foliage change and all that sort of stuff. Then we had a heat wave, a week-long heat wave in the mid-30s Celsius, so 80s, 90s, I guess, Fahrenheit. It was hot. It was hot. It was hot nights. Nights didn't get down to below 20, again, for a week straight. And this was in March, April, somewhere in there, when it was already supposed to be starting cooling down, you know. Then we had a few more weeks of variable temperatures and some rain, which was lovely. So I thought, okay, I'm feeling motivated again. Then another one, another week-long heat wave. It was just beyond ridiculous at this point. So I got very depressed. I was sick of the heat. I was sick of trying to get motivated, and things that were beyond my control just wiping me out, just wiping out my energy, wiping out my motivation. Then my husband and my daughter, by this point, were just over summer. And they said, enough's enough. We just laid around the house. We just laid around the house. We were all depressed. But I got over that. I started to feel, okay, I can get back in the groove again. Started walking again. Even printed up a 5k walking plan. So I was determined again to get to the 5k. Even though I was a bit heavier than I was back up over 100. I was in the 100 to 101 kilogram range for a while. But I was determined to get going, get that walk happening. And then I ran into someone out and about. Well, I didn't run into them. They ran into me. If I'd seen them, I would turn around and just avoided them completely, right? Someone from my past that I haven't seen in a long time. Nearly 10 years now. Who's not a healthy person for me to be around. They bullied me when I was younger. That we sorted that out and then moved on with our lives and saw each other occasionally, and I decided several years ago that this person added no value to my life anymore. Our thoughts on things were different, and I just slowly let them leave my life. Yeah, They didn't contact me either, so it was fine. They obviously didn't care either way. It takes two to build a relationship, as you know. I was at the shops, and this person called my name. I didn't know who it was at first, so I just turned around and went and saw them and went, "Oh, hi." I still had stuff to get, so I couldn't just say, "Oh, look, I can't stop. I've got to go. I've got things I need to do." You know, couldn't leave, because if I'd said I got to go and then run into them later on in the shop, it would have been, well, what do you mean? You know, I didn't want to deal with that awkwardness with that situation. I didn't have the mental energy that day to deal with that. So I did the polite thing, chatted with them for a while, and then eventually said I gotta go. About 15-minute conversation, catching up and stuff, and that was that. My husband was with me. I called him over to chat, so that helped. He could help buffer some of the... I didn't realize this was all white bread. I thought there was wholemeal. Oh well. So I was a bit shaky afterwards, because it was the unexpectedness of running into this person who I haven't seen in a long time. I had no desire to see. I was better off with them without them in my life, you know. So we just walked around the shops. He knows all the backstory and everything, my husband, so he's like, yeah, okay. Tried to help me, calm me down, and because it was a shock. It was a visceral shock. Turning around, seeing that like within 2 feet of me. And that set off an emotional chain reaction that has lasted good 6 weeks now. I now know what they mean by flashbacks can be triggered. I was triggered all those times that person wasn't very nice when we were younger. And I thought I'd dealt with all that in therapy years ago, right? No. It triggered stuff that I just didn't know how to deal with. There's no hidden or repressed memory or anything. It was, I knew exactly what the situation was and how it happened, and I thought I dealt with how I felt about it. But no. I'd rationalised a lot of things. I'd forgiven this person because they were young too. They were not from a good home. Didn't know how to treat people with respect half the time. Got in a lot of trouble at school. Dropped out of school. Never really... They're not a happy person either. So I'd rationalise things that had happened. Forgiving that person. Felt a whole lot of stuff too, worked through it in therapy. But now that I'm older, I can look back through the lens of an adult and go, you know, that was just really shitty behaviour. Like, really shitty behaviour. And it triggered this whole mental health crisis that I had to deal with. So I realised how deeply it affected me until I turned around and saw that person. And all those feelings, those deep-seated feelings came flooding back of how they'd made me feel all those years ago. Decades ago. So on top of only just sort of starting to come out of the depression from the weather, that hit me over the head, and in the heart and in the soul, and just, yeah. So I wasn't in any place to vlog, really. Not with things I didn't want to discuss anyway. It wasn't things I didn't want to discuss with the public. Couldn't really talk to my husband about it because he hadn't experienced things like that. Couldn't afford therapy, so I bought some workbooks and I've been working through them. There was also plumbing issues with the house. The landlord had to fix 2 lots of plumbing issues. 2 lots of plumbing issues. Not giving you, flipping you off. So it's been a hectic few months. And amidst all that, there was a rental inspection, so we had to make sure the house was spick and span, as you do for those sort of things. So another stress. Family, friends have been sick, daughter's been sick. It's just been, I know everyone has those periods, but one of those periods where it's one thing, then another, then another, then another. And no matter how hard I tried to vlog, it just wasn't working. But I decided something 2 weeks ago. And I decided that I need to get back in the pool. Because I'm looking at as a medical expense. It's not a health or fitness thing, it's a medical expense. Through all that stress, my sugars have been through the roof, right? My blood sugars. My daughter needs things, we get them. If my husband needs things, I get them. I need to look at this as a medical expense. And I've realised that when I was going to the pool before, because I was only going once a week, that's what I could afford, I'd try and maximise my exercise in the pool. And that was counterintuitive. I'd be exhausted, basically, and exercise for over an hour just to get my money's worth. Not good. Not healthy. So I decided I got myself a 3-month membership, and decided I'm spending no more than half an hour in the pool, because I bought some of the foam dumbbells you use in the pool. I already have a kickboard and noodles and other stuff, paddles and other stuff, a whole lot of stuff. But I finally bought a pair of dumbbells that I've wanted to use for years. Had to go buy some new bathers because I'd outgrown my other ones. I was a bit too big for them now. Oh, excuse me. So my focus has switched from challenging myself, from beating myself up about things I can't control. That period of depression really woke me up to I have to take care of myself, take care of my mental health. And getting in the swimming pool for me is something very important. I'm a water baby, so it's part stress relief and it's exercise, physical exercise. I've been really enjoying it. I've gone 3 times in the last 2 weeks. Daughter's been sick, so I've had to not go in case I had it. But I didn't, thankfully. So I can start going again either today or tomorrow, depends how I feel. So yeah, this is all about starting to get back into healthy routines, healthy habits. And one of those healthy habits is vlogging. I enjoy vlogging, I enjoy Instagram. I had problems with my Instagram. It was not letting me check my profile. I could post, but then I couldn't adjust anything, couldn't edit, couldn't do anything. It wouldn't bring up my picture, my post or anything, so that was just frustrating. So that was another thing that got me all depressed, because I was really enjoying the interactions I was having there and YouTube. So I just basically pulled the blanket over my head and just stayed on the couch for a while. I know a lot of that's first world problems, but when shit's heaped on shit, it's just not good, you know. So I have been doing some meal prepping. I made up a bunch of sandwiches and put them in the freezer. I'm trying to learn how to redo soups because my daughter has some new food intolerances that we just can't use those ingredients anymore in the house. Don't want to take the risk of cross-contamination, so I've had to change how I eat as well. And it's been hard because it's a lot of the watery vegetables that just go into soups that make up my bulk soups, you know. So I'm having to readjust all those flavour changes. I guess that's it. It's been a lot that's happened. Little things, some big things, but they're things I've had to readjust to. I've had to deal with, I've had to cope with, and when it's one thing after another, it's just a lot of stress. Good news is we're going to Comic-Con this year here in Melbourne. That'll be nice. Again, we just went, you know what? Let's do it. Let's take some money out of savings and let's do it. Let's go. We've been meaning to go for years. Let's just take the time and do that. Because why not? We don't need to have cosplay or anything. We can just go as ourselves and enjoy being, you know, guests. Be nice to cosplay, but we don't have the finances or the time to you know, put anything together. We've been putting it off for a few years for that reason, because we wanted to go and cosplay, but no, we're just going to go as guests. To just enjoy the experience. You know, daughter's never been, so we've been to a few. We've been to World Cons and things, but daughter's never been to any conventions, so she's very excited to go. And it was worth the decision. It was an impromptu decision. We went, F it, let's just go. So I'm trying to do things that bring me joy. That's part of what the workbooks have been teaching me. Working through the trauma, working through the flashbacks, working through all that. But it's also taught me to do things that actually make me happy. Don't do things just because I have to do them, like exercise and things. I mean, I love walking, but my walking mojo's gone. I'm too heavy. I was back up to 102 point something kilos. So from where I was last year when I was down to 96, that's a lot. That's 6 kilos. That's close to 15 pounds, I think. Can't remember. Anyway, it's a lot. It's a lot when you're, because before when I was down to 102, it was good because I was coming down and I felt really good. Now that I've come back up, it's like, ooh, feel a bit heavy, feel a bit unable to do things. I still haven't taken my step out of the box when I bought it like 2 weeks before Christmas, because the weather's just been crap and I've been depressed and then I haven't been fit enough to use it. So that's why another reason I got back in the water. Take away the word just. That implies it's not good enough. I am doing pool walking. I do lunge walking. I do sideways crab walking with some arm movements as I'm stepping. I do push-ups on the side of the pool. I hang on to the side of the pool and do some bicycle legs on my back. I've been just enjoying moving in the water, and I make sure I limit myself to the half hour because the change rooms are so hot. When I get in, I just feel like a limp noodle, so I have to allow for that too. That's part of my workout, is actually showering after the workout. But I desperately want to go back to swimming. One of my goals is to swim 50 meters butterfly. I haven't done that in a long time, about 15 years. I've been able to, previously I was able to do 25, about 8 years ago. But now with my stiff shoulder, with my arm injury from last year, my stroke isn't great. I don't have the core strength, especially with the weight I put back on. But one of my goals is to swim butterfly. I love swimming butterfly. It feels like I'm flying. I love it, especially if I put flippers and hand paddles on. It feels like I'm flying. It's just so much fun. So that's something I'm in the pool. I'm not swimming yet because I know I'm not fit enough, and I don't want to hurt myself. I always go gung ho and hurt myself. You guys will see me do it. You see me do it with my arm, with the holding the camera. If I love something, I just go 100%, just focus and go. So another thing I've been doing is as I'm walking along the pool, I will do stroke. I just make sure I'm getting my form and my technique properly. I'll even do the butterfly arms as I'm walking. And that's really showing me how unfit I am. My muscles. I mean, my walking stamina is great these days. Still, even with I just feel heavy. I don't like doing it. I feel out of breath. I feel uncoordinated. I feel pain in my hips if I walk too long. But my actual stamina for it is good. I just don't feel comfortable doing it anymore. And it doesn't bring me joy like it did last year. But doing the pool stroke technique has shown me how much condition I've lost in my arms and my upper body, and that's why I kept trying to do the push-ups and the incline push-ups on the bed, or the arm curls like I was doing last year, and the squats on the chair. But I realized I'm just too heavy. I'm too heavy for the condition I'm in at the moment. I was pushing myself. When I was doing minimal stuff, I kept hurting myself. It was too much. So now I'm doing pool workouts. And I'd love to be doing water aerobics and things, but again, not fit enough. So I've had to accept the reality. The workbooks have been helping me do that as well. It's working through stuff, my anger and disappointment and dismay about not being able to do what I used to be able to do. But I'm determined to get back to one of my goal. My on the land goal is to do the 5K walk, which I've been trying to do for years. And in the pool, I'd love to be able to comfortably swim 50 meters butterfly, because that's just so much fun. If I don't get there, I don't get there, but it's a goal I'm aiming for. So that's kind of where I am, mental-wise, health-wise. I've missed you guys a lot. Thanks for those that have stuck around. That's been great. I'm sorry it's taken so long. But I knew that if I came back too early, it wouldn't be good for me or for anyone that's watching, because I was not in a good headspace at all. So I'm sharing what I'm sharing in the spirit of the channel, which is honesty and telling it like it is. Don't hide anything. This is part of my life. It's I'm sure everyone's had trauma though. There are other people out there who have problems with the weather, get depressed by it, who have setbacks. That's the thing with the health journey. It's not linear. It's your life, you know. Ups and downs, around about, and you just keep going. Just keep swimming, as Dory would say. So I have to go slow to go fast. And I'm used to that. I'm annoyed by it, but I'm used to it. I've had to go slow the first few months of the year, longer than I normally would through summer. But that's life. So I hope you've all been well. I hope you've worked through whatever you've needed to work through in the past few months. It's been such a struggle for you. Yeah, so I'm back. Hopefully it will be a regular thing, maybe once a week to start with. I'll see how I go. I've got a whole lot of stuff to look through, footage and stuff to look through that I've taken, to see if I can salvage any of it and put either of it up. If I can't, oh well, I enjoyed what I did. I filmed it. So, oh, that's enough rattling on. But, you know, I've just been wading through some mud, and now I'm sort of coming out the other side. I'm still clinging to me, but I'm shaking it off as best I can and trying to get to clear water. As clear as anyone can get to these days with the state of the world and everything. So, yeah, I'm back. Hi. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.